Hey everyone, this is a book that I read and was very excited about. Um, Obviously, this is Ted Chiang's Stories of Your Life and Others. It is a collection of short stories which is highly unusual for me to like. So I've got many things to say, and I'm going to just nip through the stories one by one and say a few things about them. I can't state enough how good like almost every single one of these stories is. The Tower of Babylon is our opening story. It is so impressive. It's as if Chiang pressed pause on science and knowledge at a certain level of human understanding and took those understandings to be true. So this is about a very literal Tower of Babylon that has been built over hundreds of centuries, that spirals up and up and up, and takes, I think, is it years? I think it's probably about a year to climb. But the main story is basically they've sent for some miners because the builders are about to reach heaven, and the miners' job is to break into the vault of heaven. Yeah, from this story, I found a effortlessly beautiful prose. It is so easily consumable. It just stands above, which is why for everything I will be looking up Ted Chiang to see if I can find any more, because most of these stories are intelligent, beautifully written, beautiful pieces of imagination. But anyway, understand involves high levels of intelligence. It is phenomenally written all the way to a little bit at the end that was a little bit like, maybe you didn't quite hit the nail on the head with that one. But all the way through, exceptional. Division by Zero is is a story about math and this certain equation in math, and math is not my thing. Yeah, I found the story compelling. Did I understand what it was on about? I really did not. But compelling, just like everything else. The very reason that I bought this book was because Story of Your Life. Story of Your Life, as you can see, is Stories of Your Life and Others, is the kind of lead. This is understandable. Story of Your Life is the basis for the film Arrival. I would highly recommend the film Arrival. It is fantastic and an exploration of language, and done so beautifully. But you should really watch Arrival. Once you have watched Arrival, you'll be so impressed with the linguistic skills on display. You'll be like, that came from a book, I want to see the book. Here is the book, or at least the short story. And as a linguist, someone who loves language, there are things in here that I have never come anywhere close to, even I've never heard of them. They are just so exceptional. It's so smart. It just leaves you in the dust. So yeah, highly recommend Story of Your Life. 72 Letters is another one of these ones where it kind of presses pause on science and understanding, and it takes this idea that you have a certain arrangement of characters on a small slip of paper, and you can then put that small slip of paper into a doll or doll-like things, and depending on the words written on that small slip of paper, it will then animate that item in a certain way. And again, so smart, so well done. Drags on a little bit, gets a bit like, kind of like a needless twist, but still perfectly enjoyable. The evolution of human science, I'm going to be honest, it's not in my memory, so I'm thinking this is the one where it started to kind of downturn for me. By all means, if you want to read it and tell me what it was about and remind me, go ahead. Hell is the absence of God. Now this is interesting, because I recommended this book to someone off Tower of Babylon, and story of your life, and they weren't really into it until I mentioned hell is the absence of God. I am an adamant atheist. The person I was talking to is very heavily Christian, and that hell is the absence of God. I think I sold her on picking up this book. So it'll be interesting to see what she makes of it. But in Hell is the Absence of God, it's about a very active Christian mythos god, where angels come down to earth, to mortals, and when they come down, sometimes, like if you stand in the wrong place, like you could be killed by the fire and brimstone and the lightning and all this kind of thing they bring down with them. Some who see them are cured, some who see them are cursed, and if you are in the exact right spot to see heaven's light, your eyes leave your skull, so you are completely eyeless, like there's no sockets there or anything, and you kind of preach the word of God, and you're kind of eternally happy. It's a fantastic piece of imagination. It's just the subject matter that was a bit eyebrow raising and a tad boring for me. And liking what you see, a documentary, is a written word of a documentary like film, and it's about a technology that, again, genius imagination. It turns off the part of the brain that recognises certain parts of a human face, so it effectively enables face blindness in anyone who wants the treatment. So they use the face blindness in a school to start with, and all the teachers in school, children and parents have this thing done, and then it slowly starts to spread, and it's about the idea of how far it should go, and should everyone have it, should it be mandatory. It's absolutely fascinating. By the end of it, you're kind of like, should I or shouldn't I? You're really kind of debating it. And you get a point of view of children who were raised with this technology turned on, and then they get to a certain age, and one of them turns it off and finds out at length that she considers herself beautiful, and other people consider her beautiful, and then you get to see that kind of balance as they try to come to terms with it. So yeah, with the small exception of the evolution of human science and 72 letters going a bit slow, and the documentary, is different from all the others, but still fascinating to read. This book, as a collection of short stories, absolutely thrilled me. I'm not going to lie, I really, really enjoyed it. There wasn't a moment in it where I thought, I'm not going to finish this book. It was just fun, entertaining, highly intelligent, mind-blowingly intelligent, in small occasions not quite intelligent enough, but I would highly recommend Ted Chiang, Stories of Your Life and Others, and if you've checked it out, let me know what you thought, because it's not one I've heard much about. So that's it, that's all I've got. Thanks for watching, folks. See you around.